Kwame Nkrumah was very instrumental and bold in using football as a tool to really send his message of African unity and the one nation. He knew that football was the one weapon, I'll call it a weapon, because I think he used it as a weapon, a tool, to push forward his agenda.
Clubs were given much more freedom to operate. There was the organized league and all of that. And that made way for football to flourish. With Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah traveling and seeing the black man, the way the black man was treated in Europe and especially in America, he realized that there was a need for change.
And at the time, the patriotism, the national fervor just across, not just across West Africa, but throughout Africa, post-independence, meant that Ghana had a different standing, totally, because you have to respect Ghana anyway, because they were the first country south of the Sahara to gain independence. So that thing was there anyway. Then he used football to galvanize that, to strengthen it, to polish it. So it was a strong weapon.
Other African countries who were hoping for independence, like Guinea, Mali, in Nigeria, for instance, joined in, came into the fore and started playing. That started the idea of countries putting together their national teams. Even though then the Nations Cup comprised of very few teams, 4 teams, the rest of the continent stood up and noticed that there's something to be gained in football. There's something you can make out of football. And the world stood up and noticed Ghana.
We were beating them for the simple reason that their distribution of players on the field of play wasn't that what we had, you see, and we started beating the teams one after the other.
It was C.K. Jemfi who was the coach of Ghana to win the title in 1963, 1965, and 1982. And to date, there's no African coach who's got that record. Not even a European coach who's been on this continent has that record of winning 3 African Cup of Nations titles with a team.
What Nkrumah was an African to lead an African team, because Nkrumah was then doing an Africanization, and therefore an African should lead an African team. So I was kept there. And when the time came, of course, during the game, the games, all the teams in Africa which came were having European coaches. But it was only Ghana who was having a black coach.
Yeah. Masapu beson ba. Asapu beson wonya kwa wabokwa pa. Aye. Masapu beson wonya nyuma obotu apa. Aye. Wonya yiro obotu apa. Aye. Wonya kuro obotu apa. Aye. Abrunyo.